conditioning for your Ayesha and any other kind of split grip positions, whether that's a handspring, an INX, upright spins, okay, any kind of split grip, this is going to be really good for. Now, obviously these videos are not comprehensive. I am not there to assess you as an individual. Sorry, weird noises outside my window. And you need to listen to your body. If you're having specific issues with anything in particular, do contact me directly and I'll do my best to help, okay? Bear in mind, I'm not a physio, okay? So you do not need a pole for today, but if you have one, brilliant, you can use it, okay? If you don't worry, I have exercises where we don't need it. And if you have a band, great. But again, if you don't have a band, you could use a scarf or the belt of a dressing gown, just anything really that you can pull on and are not worried about breaking that's fabric, okay? So all of those things are fine. I'm just gonna put this to the side for a second. So this video will be separated into different sections, and it's really up to you how far you go with it and which sections you do. So we'll start with a warm-up. We'll then break down all of the exercises, and then you can either choose to stay with me and do those exercises with a timer, or you can just make some notes, film some of them maybe, and start throwing those into the beginning of your training if that's something you're sort of working towards, okay? Up to you. You can use this video however's best for you. And then we will end with a little bit of a stretch. Okay, so if you would like to put your own music on, feel free. You can pause and do that now. If not, let's get you warmed up. We're not going to do a super long warm-up because our strength training is going to really do that anyways. So looking over each shoulder, our warm-up is really just about getting mobilized more than anything else. Little semicircles. There's actually a lot of research coming out about not necessarily needing to warm up and how we can just sort of ease ourselves into our exercise rather than doing this kind of a traditional exercise warm-up. Words are hard today. Shoulders back, bending the knees. So it's like the difference between, standing here and doing this and actually just getting on the pole but being really careful, practicing some beginner stuff, that kind of thing. So yeah, a lot of debate on that one. Other way. Oh, I am stiff today. Another note, I will be, although I'm demonstrating all of the exercises on straight, I'm going to be demonstrating them all, and at the beginning of the time I will do them to begin with to remind you. I won't be fully joining in with the strength training. I am having a bit of a flare up other way with my endo, and my tummy is quite painful, and using my tummy muscles makes it worse. So just gonna shout at you, motivate you. And then little circles to the side. You don't want to watch me just doing a bunch of exercises anyways. I do plenty. Other way, I do too much. And pushing forwards. And pushing back. And pushing down. And pushing up. And then we're going to swing our arms back. Just watch out for anything behind you or around you. No knocking things over. Crunchy shoulders, my God. And then up and down. And then just going to reach tall, shoulders up by our ears, and then pull them down, up. Remember, we're not forcing them down, they're just depressing a little bit. Don't want to force the shoulders back and down. We have spoken about this before. Okay, come down to the floor. We do our tummy engagements. So remember when we're relaxed, let me just move myself more centrally. So we've got big toes together, so make like a V shape with our feet, and we've got our knees together. When I'm relaxed, I have a little bit of a gap under my spine. Don't worry too much about that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to pull our belly button back to our spine, okay, sucking it all the way in. I'm going to squeeze a little bit of bum. So notice how my bum just comes off the floor, okay? And then I'm going to relax. So I'm going to go from this kind of arched position to this rounded position. I'm trying to find my tummy muscles, okay, my abs, my pelvic floor, okay, and my bum. So I'm going to do 10, and I'm going to do 10 crunches and 10 side crunches. So let's go. 10, 9, have a little feel, see if you can feel things squeezing. 8, 7, 6, 5, is your bum squeezing? 4, 3, 2, 1, and crunches. Try and keep that sucked in. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, side to side. 10, don't have to go super high. 9, keep the tummy sucked in. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so that is our warm up. Now let's talk about the individual exercises. Okay, let's go through our exercises. So I think we have like 5 exercises, but a couple of them we're going to work on both sides. So all in all, we have about 7 sets worth of exercises to do. Okay, now obviously this is not a comprehensive program of exercises that will get you your Ayesha, but all of these things are relevant to what you're going to need to do in your Ayesha, okay, and will help you get there. Now I'm going to do a few different ones of these videos for each goal, so there will be further conditioning for Ayesha, but it might not be for a little while. Okay, so this one is absolutely fine to do it more than once. Okay, these are good exercises that will really help. So the first one, if you haven't got a pole, just have your band handy so you can try this in a second. So if you've got a pole, we're going to do shoulder engagements. Okay, so I do this as part of my warm-up quite often. Super important that we understand how to pull all the way through the shoulders, okay, rather than just hanging, which is what often happens in Ayesha. So we're going to go up on tippy toes, we're going to reach really high, and you can see I'm trying to get my shoulders actively up by my ears. Now, once my shoulders are by my ears, my arms are straight and as high as they can go. I'm just going to slide until my feet go flat, but keep my shoulders by my ears. And I'm just going to try, without even needing to take feet off the floor, to pull my shoulders away from my ears. Now remember, we don't want to force the shoulders back and down. We just want to depress them a little bit away from the ears, okay? If you're stronger, you can totally do this with bent legs or whatever you want to do, okay? Now on that one, at halfway, I will just tell you to swap hands rather than doing 2 sets for that one, okay? So practice that now if you're not sure. And important to say at this point as well, there are already loads of videos up that are totally applicable to getting your Ayesha. Now the ones for Ayesha, extended butterfly, D, all of those kind of positions are literally coming in the next couple of weeks, so keep an eye out for those. But the tummy engagement video, the shoulder engagement video, the split grip video, and the recent Technique Tuesday Ayesha, I think it was, twisted grip, sorry. Twisted grip videos will set you up with some really good foundational knowledge and understanding for when we actually get to start working on those Ayeshas if you're not already. Okay, so lots of talking today. I'm done with that now. I've said everything I need to say. So if you don't have a pole to do your shoulder engagements, what you're going to do is you're going to hold your band or your scarf or whatever you've got, and you want to make sure that your hands are kind of about shoulder width, okay? So I'm We're going to hold it, knuckle down to begin with, and then turn thumbs up. Okay, so knuckle down, then thumbs up. And when they're thumbs up, you want them about shoulder width. We're going to take the arms overhead. And what we're going to do, mine is slightly too wide maybe, try and get a nice straight line from hand to shoulder. So what I'm going to do is we're going to basically pull gently on our band. So if you've got a really flexible band, you don't want to be doing this. Okay, it shouldn't actually really stretch. Okay, you're just actively pulling without actually pulling, okay? And if you've got a dressing gown band or whatever, this will be a little bit easier because you'll have no give in your band. And then what you're gonna do is just go up and down, okay, with some tension. So you're actively trying to pull the arms back, you're pulling them out, okay, thinking thumbs rotating out away from each other, away from the body, and you're just gonna go from up and down. Remember, we're not forcing the shoulders down at the bottom. Remember, the shoulder blade, when the arm is overhead, wants to be on the side of the body, not the back of the body, okay? So that's the first exercise. Play with those if you need to, pause if you need to, go back, watch again if you need to. So the next one is going to be hard for me to show you in here because I actually don't really have enough room, which means you might not have enough room either. So if you are a little bit tight for space, you might actually be better off doing the floor exercise versus the pole. So I'm trying to think which side is going to be better to show you this. Maybe here. So I have to go diagonal, which means it's not ideal for seeing what's going on. So we are going to go into a side plank position, okay, pushing and pulling through both arms. So let's look first at the arms. So I've got one hand on the floor, and I've got one arm up into a cup grip position. You could do this in normal grip, but I think you're going to get more out of cup grip. So thumb is down with your fingers, okay, so you're not wrapping your thumb around. And you're going to think, I know my legs right now, I can't straighten them, but you would straighten your legs out, you're squeezing your hips forward, and you're really pulling down through your top shoulder and pushing away through the bottom shoulder. Can you see how right now I'm kind of collapsed and my shoulders coming up to my ears? I'm going to really push away as if I'm extending through, okay, my ribs so that I'm now really pushed out and my shoulder is away from my ear. And my head, I want it to be just off the pole and I want it to be kind of central. I don't want to glue it to one of my arms or have it any weird place, okay? Now the legs are doing exactly what you would do in a side plank, which is what you're going to do if you're not doing this one. So elbow or hand is fine. If you're under your hand, your fingers are going to point, okay, out to the side of your body, okay? If you're on your elbow, you can come down with the arm forwards, okay? You're going to take, if I move myself this way so you can see my legs, I'm going to take the legs out to the side. Now I have them crossed. I prefer the top leg in front. Okay, I have seen people kind of keep it behind. I think it's better in front. And you can spread your legs as much as you need to be stable. And then what you're going to do, whether you're on elbow or hand, is you're going to squeeze your bum, keep your legs dead straight, okay, and open your chest out to the ceiling as much as you can. You want to be as sideways as possible. You want strong, straight legs, and you don't want your hips dipping. Now, the bottom half of that is exactly the same on the pole exercise, okay? So give that a try now. Have a taste it. Make sure you understand before you join me for the next one. And we'll do both sides for that one of the pole, okay, and of the body. So there's 2 sets there. Okay, now the next one is our one-handed push-up, which we're going to do either against the wall or on the pole. I don't know if my wall's even in shot. I guess this bit is. So it doesn't matter whether it's a wall or a pole. What we're going to do if we're on the pole, we're going to stand just a little way back. I'm going to have my index finger down, okay, onto the pole. I'm up on tippy toes, and I'm going to make sure that I'm sucking my tummy in, okay? Now, if you look from this angle, I'm going to actually be slightly to the side of the pole because my elbow is going to go past my body. Can you see? Like now I'm really exaggerating, don't lean like this, but see, you can see this elbow is coming back this way, okay? And the key is to keep the body really strong and straight. So I'm coming in with my body as a unit. I'm not doing like this movement, okay? So think straight line through the body, tuck the pelvis under, so suck your bum under, granny bum as they sometimes call it, okay? And slowly in, slowly out. This is another one where we will do 2 sets, okay? So we will do 1 set for each arm. Now if you don't have a pole, actually one more thing on the pole before we talk about the wall. If you're getting wrist pain, so with this one it's totally possible to get wrist pain because we are putting our wrist into quite an intense position. Not everyone has enough flexibility. So as you can see, as I come in, this basically becomes a lot more extreme. So options, if you're getting wrist pain, first thing is to try with the palm open, okay? If you're still experiencing pain with the palm open, try getting a little bit closer and taking the hand lower. You won't get quite so much of a push, might not be as intense, but it'll be better for your wrists, okay? And I forgot one more thing. Really not on form today, guys. So with this one as well, whether you're on the pole or the wall, you want to make sure you're not just coming in like this, but you're pushing all the way through the shoulder. Can you see? I'm almost like twisting slightly in order to push from all the way back in my lats, okay, and my shoulder, not just this through my arm, my whole body, okay? Because that is actually one of the very common missing pieces when it comes to moving to INX. And actually you should be doing that in your Ayesha to protect your bottom shoulder anyways, okay? So really, really, really important. Just checking that this is still recording because it starts to overheat around now. We need to get through the rest of these before it does. So if you're doing that on the wall, it's exactly the same. You just put your hand on the wall, okay? You might not be able to come quite as close. You should be able to, it shouldn't make a difference really. But yeah, just on the wall. I don't know if you'll be able to see very well, but this is kind of what we're looking for. Okay. Okay, so that's your next one. Then we're going to come to the floor so everybody can do this no matter where. We're going to do a dish hold. So this will be different for everybody. Okay, this depends on where you're at. So at its most basic, we're going to lie on the floor and we're going to do our tummy engagement. So we're going to suck everything in and then we're just going to lift the chest up. Okay, think chin to chest, reaching the arms forward. Everything is kind of making this like bowl shape. Okay, now if that's easy, start to straighten your legs out. And you might not be able to see, but I've still got my heels on the floor. Okay, so to begin with, my legs are quite straight. I'm just on my heels. I'm still reaching forwards, okay, but I've got my feet on the floor. If that's easy, you can try taking your hands overhead, okay. Next step will be to lift the feet but have the hands forward, okay, and final step would be both legs and arms overhead. So you need to pick a level which works for you, and you should be challenging yourself to try and move up those levels. If you can't hold your body in that position on the floor, never going to be able to hold an INX, and you're probably going to struggle with your Ayesha as well, okay? This is that really fundamental hollow body position that we use for so many things that are strength-based, okay? Even handstands, these are great for handstands as well. Okay, and then last one, not such a bad one, is our straddle stretch. So all we're going to do is sit in a straddle, and you can move about or you can just sit still. It's up to you. Now, the key is to listen to your body. We don't want to push too fast, too hard. We listen to ourselves. So you might want to rock side to side, forward and back, circle, a mixture, whatever feels nice. If that's too much, then just sit there, okay? As long as you're not pushing yourself out of your comfort zone, it's going to help. But of course it cut out just when I needed 30 seconds more standard. So the reason why we're doing a straddle is, people don't really think about this, but in your Ayesha position, your leg is in a straddle. And if you can't get your legs nice and low, it can make the balancing element of it harder. But it can also make it hard to suck in your tummy, because if you can't get your leg forwards, okay, and it's here somewhere, it's a lot harder from here to engage the core than it is from here. The legs being able to fold forward allows us to engage through our tummy, okay, a lot more effectively. Okay, so with the timer, so each time we are doing a minute on each exercise. Some we're swapping sides in the minute, some we are doing both sides. I will shout at you as we go. I will only do a couple of the exercises at the beginning, and then I will remind you of all the things you need to be thinking of and cheer you on. Okay, so first one is your shoulder engagement. So remember, shoulders to ears, pulling down, or with the band. Okay, knuckles on top, rotate up and down. Don't force the shoulders to do anything they don't want to do. Really think about pulling them back and apart if you're using a band or similar. 5 seconds to set yourself up, starting now. Okay, shoulder engagements first. Off we go. Keep the feet on the floor if you need to. Remember, we're not forcing the shoulder blades back and down. We want to think about trying to suck the tummy in and engage the core if we can. Staying on one shoulder for now. Keep this going, you're doing good. You can also think about your break the bar where you're trying to rotate the thumbs out. Okay, we're going to swap hands now. So other hand on top if you're on the pole. If you're with your band, just keep going. Keep trying to get the arms further back, but without arching the back. And keep pulling apart. Try thinking about rotating those thumbs out. You're doing really good. Keep it up. This one shouldn't be like super intense, but maybe it will be. Maybe there's some muscles that are not working great at the moment. Okay, we've got about 5 seconds left. And then we're going to go onto the floor. So we've got 20 seconds break. So this is our plank on the pole, not in the right position, or our side plank on the floor. Okay, 1 minute for each side. Come in and out of it as you need to. 3, 2, 1, off we go. Okay, so cup grip, hips up. Keep your hips like sideways and your bum high, legs nice and straight. Push through your bottom shoulder, whether you're on the floor or not. If your wrist hurts, you can come down onto your elbow. Really good one for things like Iron X, but also really good for our push and our pull and our core strength. Keep it going. Make sure you have got your tummy sucked in. Your legs are straight and strong. If you need to take a break, you can take a break, but try to get straight back in there. You're doing really good. Make sure you're breathing. No one ever remembers to breathe. Got this, we're nearly there. Don't give up yet. If you did the whole minute nearly, that's incredible. Got about 10 seconds. Try and breathe, try and stay with it. This is really good. 3, 2, 1, rest. And then we're going to do the other side. So take a breather, have a moment, get some water, whatever you need to do. And then same exercise on the other side. 5 seconds, get yourself into position. Off we go. Okay, so same thing. Remember, keeping the tummy tucked in. Okay, suck your bum and tummy in. Hips to the ceiling. Legs nice and straight and strong. Push all the way through your shoulder, whether you're on your elbow, your hand, or on the pole. If you're on the pole, pull down through your top shoulder. Try and find all of these muscles. They're really important. And don't forget to breathe because that's important. Really, really important. You are doing great. I know this is probably one of the hardest ones we're going to do out of the exercises today. It is intense. You're doing great. We're nearly there. Don't give up. We have about 10 seconds left. Keep breathing, keep holding. You've got this. Nearly there. Easy for me to say as I stand here and watch, well, I'm not even watching you, can't even see you. And rest. Okay, so take a breather and then we're going for our pole or wall press ups. So remember, index finger down the pole. If your wrists hurt, open them or get yourself closer. Elbow past the body and fully extend through the shoulder. Okay, we're going to do a minute on each hand for this one. Off we go. Let's do it. Really think about extending. We're not just pushing through our arm, we're pushing through our whole body. This is how we will push if we're in our Ayesha or our INX or Phoenixes or any of these of handsprings, any of these things. We need a really strong push. It's a very underrated and undertrained part of our pole journey. Keep it going. You're doing great. Breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth, slowly. Slow breaths in, out. Okay, don't rush it. Take your time. Quality over strength. Don't forget to tuck your tummy and your bum in. We need that for all of these things. Okay, there's nothing here where we don't need that. We're nearly there. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Rest. And then we're going to do the other side. You have about 20 seconds to rest. Yeah, pretty much everything in pole, I say everything, a lot of things in pole when we're not dancing require that granny bum, that sucking in of our tummy and our bottom. 4 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Other side. Other side. Keep that tummy really strong. Elbow past the body. Remember, I'm like to the side of the pole. Okay, and I'm really pushing away at the end as much as I can. It might not feel super intense, but it's understanding that movement pathway so that we can then translate that when we're upside down. Super, super, super important. Doing really good, guys. You're about halfway on this set. Keep it up. We haven't got too much more to do. We are nearly there, and then we will stretch. I'm like really paranoid to check my phone's still recording. That's what my mirror's for now, so I can reflect my phone, see if it's stopped recording. What a palaver, I need a new camera. Okay, we've got about 10 seconds left. You are doing great, make sure you're breathing. You got this. 5 seconds. Rest. Okay, we're going to get onto the floor on our dish hold next. You've got about 15 seconds. So first one is legs bent, reaching forwards. Second is feet still on the floor, but more stretched out. Third is taking the feet up. Fourth is arms overhead. Okay. Play around with positions. Off we go. Make sure it challenges you. Really suck everything in. Try and hold it. If it gets too much, if you're doing one of the more difficult positions and it gets too hard, just go down a level or two, okay? But don't come out of it entirely. You've got this, breathe, okay? Make sure you're really tucking that pelvis under so you're not putting pressure on your spine. If you're arching, if you look like this, okay, this is not correct. Suck in, lift the shoulders. You got this, guys. We're just over halfway. It's tough, but you're doing great. Nearly there. Nearly there. It's got just over 10 seconds left. You can do it, don't give up. Just go down a step. If it's too much, go down a step. 5 seconds. And rest. And your last one is nice and easy. It's just your straddle. Remember, we're not forcing anything. We're going to be gentle. We're going to listen to our body and we're going to ease into it. If movement feels good, do it. If it doesn't, don't do it. Don't force anything. 3 seconds. Off we go. Good. Holding, breathing, relaxing. Try not to tense anything too much. Keep your legs nice and gentle. If they start to tense, a really great way of tricking them is to squeeze your legs into the ground, squeeze your bum and then relax. That helps to trick your legs to relax a little bit. And just go wherever's comfortable. I am really tight today. This is not a good straddle day. You're doing great. We are nearly there and then we're going to stretch. Although we are stretching, I guess. We're gonna stretch our arms. Doing great, guys. Really, really good. Last 10 seconds. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Finished. Okay, guys, well done. Take a moment if you need it, get some water, and then we're going to stretch together. I feel like my camera's moved, but anyways, I don't know what's going on. Is my microphone on? Oh, it's chaotic, yes. Okay, so to finish, let's stretch, guys. So hands are going to come on at shoulder height, step your feet back, and then think about sticking your bum out and pulling your chest down towards the floor. Keep your head up. You don't have to look up, but keep your head up. Don't let it drop down. Make sure you're breathing and you're not trying to force anything. Anytime we're stretching, it should feel nice. It shouldn't feel like horrible. If it is, maybe you're injured or maybe you're just pushing yourself too far. Who knows? Other hand on top. Make sure you're breathing. Coming up, we're going to leave our hands on about shoulder height and we're going to twist all the way away from the pole. Think shoulder back and down to open up the chest a little bit more and get a deeper stretch. And we're going to swap arms. And then we're going to bring our forearm onto the pole. So you want your forearm to actively be leaning on the pole, okay? And your elbow is going to be at shoulder height and you're going to twist away. And this one you'll probably feel a little bit more in your chest. Could be your delts, could be your biceps, depends where you're tight. Wherever you feel your stretch is not a bad thing, okay? Unless it feels bad. Listen to your body. Your body will tell you. And swapping arms. I forgot to say, if you don't have a pole, you can do this on a wall. I didn't say that at the beginning. I'll edit that in. For God's sake. Yeah, use a wall or a door frame. Totally fine. Forgot some of you are not using poles. This is what happens when I have to film in sections because my camera doesn't work. I have a break and forget what I've been doing. Feet in at the bottom of the pole, so both feet practically touching. Arm furthest away from the pole is going to go over to the head, over the top of the head. And we're going to lean to the side. You can have the hand either way around, whatever feels better for you. And the other side, so bring the feet to the opposite side of the pole, bring the other arm overhead to the side. Again, you can use a door frame for this one, or you can just do like a nice, whatever you want to do with your legs, standing side stretch. God, I'm sucking today, giving you the facts after. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to bring hands onto shoulder, and you can either use a wall or a pole to do this. You're going to reach your elbow up your pole, if it's the pole or the wall, and then you're going to sink forward like you're trying to get your armpit towards the pole, keeping your hand on your shoulder. So I didn't mention it while we were doing a lot of that training, but remember, for your Ayesha and actually any kind of split grip upside down, we need at least 180 degrees of flexion in the shoulders. That's a straight line if we're sitting with our back against a wall, from our bum up to our fingertips. Remember, I do have an online course where you can assess this and improve it. Other side, just look at the website. So toe reach the shoulder, elbow comes on and start to push the armpit towards the pole. Yeah, so if you go to practicalpole.com, find the syllabus page, you will find the shoulder course. I do recommend that everybody does it because there's a lot of valuable knowledge about how your shoulders work on the pole as well. So it'll help you kind of understand why some positions might be hard for you, or why you might be getting injured with certain things. And it helps you to improve a lot of that range of movement in your shoulders. My left shoulder is significantly worse than my right. It needs a lot of work. Okay, and then we're going to go palm down, pulling the hand in gently. We are nearly there. Just going to check that it's still recording. We're good, we're good. Might make it through this last video. Oh dear. And then palm up. And the other side, palm down. As always, if you have any questions, issues, concerns, let me know. I am always here to help. I always do my best. It's not always possible to answer all your questions, palm up, because my level of training is, in terms of things like anatomy. I'm not a physio. I'm not a massage therapist. I'm not a chiropractor or doctor, any of those things, but I do try to keep my level of knowledge higher than that of most pole dancers and pole instructors. So I can point you in the right direction if you've got an issue. I would do my best to help. All right, and we are all finished. Well done, guys. Thank you for joining me for today. Oh my God, words. Blah, blah, blah. Oh God, it's been a long day. There is going to be, hopefully most weeks you will get a new conditioning 4 video. You can use these repeatedly, there's nothing wrong with that, okay? There's this kind of chase for new things, new exercises, new ways of doing things. And whilst that can be helpful and good for your body to change things up, there are a lot of these core things that it doesn't matter if you do them, you will get better, okay? So, hope that didn't kill you too much and look forward to hearing how it went.